Let's move on now, where Yemen's Houthi rebels say they have fired 2 ballistic missiles at Israel, targeting a military base and an airport. The group claims one missile was aimed at Sadot Michar base near Ashdod and another at the Ben Gurion International Airport near Tel Aviv. Israeli forces confirmed that a missile was launched from Yemen and said that it was successfully intercepted. Air raid sirens were heard across Israel, including in Jerusalem, but no damage or injuries have been reported. The Houthis have been launching missiles and drones towards Israel since the war in Gaza began last October, saying they are in support of Palestinians. Attacks temporarily stopped during a ceasefire in January, but then resumed after Israel restarted its offensive in March. Let's take a listen to what Houthi military spokesman Yahya Sari had to say.
غزة نفذت القوة الصاروخية في القوات المسلحة اليمنية عملية عسكرية نوعية، وذلك بصاروخين باليستيين، أحدهما فرط صوتي نوع فلسطين 2، استهدف قاعدة سودة ميخا في منطقة شرق أسدود المحتلة، وهي قاعدة صاروخية لإطلاق صواريخ أريحة وبطاريات صواريخ حيدز. والصاروخ الآخر نوع ذي الفقار استهدف مطار بن غوريون في منطقة يافا المحتلة.
Meanwhile, the Houthi rebels say that an American airstrike has killed 6 people and injured more than a dozen others. The strike hit a factory in Sana province. Houthi media says the total number of victims has risen to 19, with 6 dead and 13 wounded. The US also carried out strikes in other parts of Yemen, including Sada and Houthis provinces. America started targeting the Houthi areas in March after the rebels began attacking ships in the Red Sea and Gulf of Aden. The conflict has disrupted shipping in one of the world's most important trade routes, forcing many vessels to take longer, more expensive detours. Let's move to Africa now, where Sudan's paramilitary rapid support forces claim to have taken full control of Zamzam camp in Darfur, a site ravaged by famine and conflict. This is what the paramilitary leader stated.
بنشر وحدات عسكرية لتأمين المدنيين والعاملين في الحقل الطبي والإنساني في مخيم زمزم بولاية شمال دارفور بعد تمكنها من تحرير معسكر زمزم بشكل كامل من قبضة جيش الحركة الإسلامية الإرهابية وتوابعها من حركات الارتزاق المسلح التي كانت تتخذ المعسكر ثكنة عسكرية والمدنيين دروع.
The RSF launched intense ground and aerial assaults on Friday, targeting the camp and nearby areas, killing at least 200 people, including children and aid workers. The United Nations warned the toll could be much higher as entire medical teams and civilians were targeted. Zamzam is one of 5 regions where famine has been officially detected. Paramilitaries were seen torching buildings while alleging that Sudanese armed forces were using the camp as a human shield. This marks some of the worst violence in Darfur since Sudan's civil war erupted nearly 2 years ago. The RSF denies it's targeted civilians, but eyewitnesses and agencies report mass killings and destruction. The US has condemned atrocities by both sides, accusing the RSF of genocide and the army of attacking civilians. Moving on, a Wisconsin teenager is facing multiple charges after killing his parents as part of a broader plot to assassinate US President Donald Trump. The FBI says 17-year-old Nikita Kassap shot his mother and stepfather in early February near a village in Milwaukee. He then fled with their car, cash and a gun. Investigators say the teen's phone contained neo-Nazi materials, praise for Adolf Hitler and writings outlining a violent plan to overthrow the US government. Authorities also say he communicated with individuals in Russia and planned to escape to Ukraine. He allegedly intended to use drones and explosives in an attack. Kassap has been charged with first-degree homicide and 7 other felonies. He's being held on a $1 million bond and is due back in court on May the 7th. Back over to the Indo-Pacific, where the trial of South Korea's ousted leader Yoon Suk-yeol began today. Yoon faces charges of insurrection after declaring martial law late last year, triggering months of political turmoil. Prosecutors argue that Yoon lacked legal grounds to declare martial law and accused him of trying to paralyze state institutions, including parliament. Yoon has denied all charges, claiming the move was necessary to combat what he called legislative dictatorship by the opposition. If convicted of insurrection, Yoon could face life imprisonment or even death, though executions have not occurred in South Korea for decades. The trial follows Yoon's removal from office earlier this month by the Constitutional Court for violating constitutional powers. Meanwhile, South Korea will hold a snap election on June the 3rd as questions remain over Yoon's future role. Well, that's all we have time for.